All right, so today we are continuing on with Module 2, and we're doing Module 2, Lesson 24. And the learning goal you should have written down by now is that by the end of today, you need to be able to divide wholes that are decimals. That's what decimal wholes mean. Remind me again, what's a whole? Is it the first number, the second number, or the third number in a division problem? First number. So today, that number is going to have a decimal, okay? And we're going to divide those by multiples of 10. So what's going to be a multiple of 10? The whole, the divisor, or the quotient? Divisor. And today is very important to understand things about place value, because today we're going to use our understanding of place value to help us divide those decimals. Okay, we're going to examine what are some different ways we can name these numbers. If we have 14.6, could I split it up like this into the whole part and the decimal part? Yeah. If I do that, I have 14 whats? 14 ones and 6 what? Good. So let's write this down. It could be 14 ones plus 6 tenths. Is that the only way to name that number? No. What if I want to split it like this? Could I do that? Yeah. This would be 1 what? 10. 110 plus, I see that number is 46, but it's 46 whats? Tenths. 46 tenths. It's important for you to write this stuff down. Okay, what if I wanted to put it all in one group? All in one group. What would that be? I see the number is 146, but the units would be tenths. It's super important for us to review how to rename numbers using different units. Okay, so let's practice that down here too. What if I wanted to separate it into the traditional way, which is the whole and the decimal? What number do I have on the left? 9 what? 9 ones. And then what do I have on the right-hand side? 45 hundredths. Good. Okay. What if I want to split it so that the 9 and the 4 are together and the 5 is all by itself? If I have the 9 and the 4 together, without looking at the decimal point, what number do I have? 94. But what's the units? Tenths. And then the 5 is all by itself, so it's 5 whats? Hundredths. What if I want to put all of it together into one group? What number do I have all together? 945, but the units would be hundredths. This is a skill we've been talking about ever since Module 1, right? But it's super important to recognize how you can split up different numbers like that, okay? Good. Now the directions say to divide, and then it says to show the division in the right-hand column in 2 steps. So when it says that, it's talking about the problems on the right-hand side, we're going to have to show in 2 steps. Looking at these 2 problems, why is it that this one over here we're going to have to show in 2 steps? Well, if we look at the divisor, is it a multiple of 10? Yeah. That means that we can split it up to be 14.6 divided by, how would I split it? 10 divided by 2. So that would be how you show it in 2 steps. Does that make sense? We're going to come back and do that problem later, though. We're first going to do 14.6 divided by 2. Now, 14.6 divided by 2. Is there a way for us to split this number up so that there's 2 parts that are compatible with 2? Yes. What if I look at 14 ones and 6 tenths? Can we split that number up to be 14 ones and 6 tenths? Yes. Okay. Then we can think of it as 14 ones divided by 2, and then 6 tenths divided by 2. Don't you think? And that makes it easier because it's all math facts, isn't it? What's 14 ones divided by 2? 7. Let's say the units. What is it? 7 ones. And what's 6 tenths divided by 2? 3 tenths. So then our answer then should be 7 ones and 3 tenths. See how that works? Okay. Now on the right-hand column, it says to do it in 2 steps. So we've already done the first step. And what that means is we can divide 14.6 divided by 10. We know when we divide by 10, all the digits shift to the right by 1, which effectively also moves the decimal left by 1, right? Yeah. So 14.6 divided by 10 is 1.46. So our new problem is 1.46 divided by 2. Can we still split this number up into 2 different ways that are easy? Yeah. Do we still have a 14 and a 6? Yeah. But this time, is it still 14 ones? This time it's 14 what? Tenths. And is it still 6 tenths? This time it's 6 what? Hundredths. Okay, so this time we have 14 tenths divided by 2, which is equal to what? 7 tenths. 7/10 this time. Good. And then we have 6/100 divided by 2, which is 3/100. So this time our answer is going to be 7/10 and 6/100, or sorry, 3/100. So 0.73. Now let's take a look at how these two answers compare. When we had 14.6 divided by 2, we got 7.3. And when we did 14.6 divided by 20, we got 0.73. Do you see how they all have the same digits? Yeah. But how does the first answer, 7.3, compare to our second answer of 0.73? Which one's bigger, 7.3 or 0.73? 7.3. How many times bigger is it? 10 times bigger. Why is it 10 times bigger? Well, if you look in the right-hand column, when we divide by 20, we're splitting by 10 times more things. Do you see that? So our answer got 10 times smaller. Now, looking at these two problems, we can see they have a lot of things in common, right? Yeah. Are the wholes the same? Yes? Both of the wholes are what? 65 and 6/10. Good. And are the divisors the same? No. How are the divisors different? The first one seems like it's 10 times bigger than the second one. Do you see that? Yeah. So will the quotients be the same? No. Which quotient will be bigger, the first one or the second one? Second one will be bigger because we are dividing by less people or less things. In fact, how many times bigger will it be? 10 times bigger, because this number is 10 times smaller than this number. Do you see that? Yeah. So, do we even need to do division? No. Can we just write something that's 10 times bigger than 0.82? Yeah. So what's 10 times bigger? 8.2. Very good. So you can see how we can use what we know about place value reasoning to figure out these answers. Okay, let's try the second one. Okay, let's take stock of what we have. Are the wholes the same? They're both what number? 39.6. Are the divisors the same? No. Are they related? Yeah. The first divisor, is it bigger or smaller than the second divisor? Smaller. How many times smaller? 10. 10 times smaller. So will the quotients be the same? No, but will they be related? Yeah. Which quotient is going to be bigger? The one where I divide by 6 or the one where I divide by 60? Yeah. So is my blank here going to be bigger or smaller than my 6.6? Smaller. How many times smaller? 10. Okay. See, if using what you know, you can write in the correct quotient.